Hello guys, welcome to our today's lesson, and today we'll be learning about passive and active voice. In active voice, we always start with the subject, and today we'll use these two sentences as our reference. Sentence number 1 is, the cat drank the milk. Sentence number 2, the hare tricked the hyena. Let's go to the first sentence. The cat drank the milk. We'll be going to ask ourselves 3 main questions. And question number 1, what drank the milk? Question number 2, what did the cat do to the milk? And question number 3, what did the cat drink? The doer of the action is the subject. And in this case, the cat is doing the drinking. The action done is the verb. Remember, the traditional definition of the word verb is that a verb is a doing word. So our verb is drank. Whatever that was affected by the actions of the subject is the object. In this case, the milk was drunk. So in this case, the milk is the object. Let's go to the sentence number 2. The hare tricked the hyena. So the hare is the subject, tricked is the verb, the hyena was affected by the actions of the hare, which is tricking, so the hyena is the object. So something to note, in the active voice we are always starting with the subject. In our sentence number 1 we started with the cat. In our sentence number 2 we started with the hare. So we start with the subject, followed by the verb, followed by the object. That is the order always in the active voice. Let's go to passive voice. In passive voice, things now change. We start with the object, followed by the verb, and we finish with the subject. So in this case, in passive voice, we don't start with the subject, we start with the object, and lastly, we will have the subject at last. For example, the milk was drunk by the cat. And in our second sentence, the hyena was tricked by the hare. You can note that we started with the object, followed by the verb, and lastly, we finished with the subject. You can see now that the order is now changing, and the changed order makes us say that these sentences now are not in active voice, but they are in passive voice. Something also to note is that we have introduced by, the word by, which was not there. And we have also introduced an auxiliary verb, a helping verb, which is next to the main verb. That is something to note. For example, the milk was drunk by the cat. We didn't have the word was, and we didn't have the word by. In our sentence number 2, the hyena was tricked by the hare. You can see that we didn't have the word was and we didn't have the word by. So something to note that we always have an auxiliary verb next to the main verb, and we also introduce the word by when we are changing the sentence from active voice to passive voice. Sometimes the subject might be left out in some cases, not all cases, but some cases. In passive voice, they find it as redundancy and they might opt to leave out the subject. For example, the milk, the milk was drunk, and leave the subject. In that case, we'll still say that the sentence is in passive voice. So guys, that was our lesson today. I hope that everything is clear, and we'll meet in our next video. But before that, let me leave you with an assignment, and the sentence that you will tell me in the comment section whether it's in active voice or passive voice is, the dog chased the little girl. The dog chased the little girl. Tell me whether